Welcome to Tokyo Station. This is the final day, Monday, May 7th of Golden Week. May 6th. I sometimes forget the dates as well. And it's quite busy in here, as you would expect. Golden Week also for me marks the start of summer, which is really cool. I got my blue shades on, make everything a little bit cooler out there. It's an overcast day today. It doesn't feel like it has been for the last couple of days, but for me, this is a significant time because the crowds finally go away as soon as Tuesday starts. People go back to work, things settle down, prices return back to normal, and me, Kanai, and Leo, my wife and son, will be going on our holidays. We timed this right. Hotel prices are typically 3 times, at least this year, I looked online, 3 times more expensive than they are at normal times by $100 on 2 nights at a really nice hotel in Shirakawa-go. Again, timing is everything, but for those that can only travel during Golden Week, it's this time. If you're looking at the schedule for 2025 next year, it's going to be the same as this year, April 29th to May 5th. But, you know, sometimes the first and second days after this typically will keep on going. But those are the official dates for then. If you look inside of the station right now, I was just inside there. You can see it's not too crowded. I think more people are going to be coming back into the country from the airports, coming back into the cities in a couple of hours, and that's when the peak time starts around 4 p.m. Everybody making sure that they get a Shinkansen ticket home. This year, the Shinkansen, the Nozomi Shinkansen and the Tokaido line was all reserved seats until today because they didn't want to have standing room only. They didn't want to have chaos inside of the train stations here. Look at that bowl of ramen there. It's not too bad right now. The airports are quite crowded, but I was looking at Japanese news and I want to run down in this episode kind of the Golden experience for 2024. What happened? And then this is looking inside of the station. What happened on the highways? What happens at the hotels, at the tourist spots? And I was out and about a little bit, but me and my family, we basically stayed home and kept a low profile and we're getting ready for the big time starting in a couple of days from now. So Japanese news was posting a lot of stuff on the holidays here. Here's the traffic. I'm just getting a little commentary about it. You can see this is the surface area. I think this is Takasaka, was it there? It was 26 kilometers backed up. Here's the airport. A lot of people coming back into the country here. Reporters are saying that it is quite busy. There's no surprises here. It doesn't look too busy, it just depends when you catch the waves of people returning. But the Japanese media was more focused on, we say Enyasu, is that what it says here? It says Enyasu down at the bottom there, and they were talking about how Japanese citizens going abroad were having a very weak yen, and it was very costly. A lot of them would spend a lot more money than they expected in order to go and travel abroad. This is the big reporting from Japanese media in here. Not so much about the traffic, more about those that did travel abroad and how a lot of people were staying domestically. There were a lot of places, I'm skipping through here, a lot of places inside of Japan. This is in Iwaki City in Fukushima. I think this is the Hawaiians, which I did a live stream there. Look at the line just to go down a water slide. That's like 40 minutes, 120 minutes long to wait. That's crazy. That's 2 hours. It's very crowded. Again, it was a very warm Golden Week this year, but for families, you know, the father is home from work from his 9-to-5 job and they can get out there. This is the parking area on the Tohoku Highway, and you can see that's a beautiful parking area. This is like a service area where you get restaurants, a rest stop off of the highway. And a lot of people were saying that they're headed way back. This news program, let me do some commentary here. You can see the traffic coming back into Tokyo. It was going the other way. Look at how bad that is from the helicopter. Peter once said that he was 8 hours on the highway from Nagano, like all the way back to Tokyo one Golden Week. It moves like this, or barely moves at all. So make sure you get a full tank. The traffic coming from Nagano, apparently, I think it was from Nagano, was 40 kilometers backed up, but it's going to get worse. The Shinkansen, also the platforms at the other stations are quite busy. but not as busy in the past because it's reserved tickets only on the Tokaido Shinkansen, which is the most crowded of them. You can see even in Tottori, and I know that some of you are like me, are big fans of the Sanin area. These are the sand dunes of Tottori. This news report is talking about the line just to take pictures with camels. Look at that. It's like it rivals Tokyo Disneyland. Bryant Vu, thank you so much. I'm glad to see you too, buddy. The weather was just so good. This is one of the surreal areas of Japan. It looks like the Arabian desert or like Egypt or something. But it's Tottori. These Tottori sand dunes is like one of the three great wonders of Japan. And they're interviewing people about why they wanted to come here. And they said it's less than Disneyland. And the other place that Japanese news highlighted here was in Fukuoka. There were a lot of Matsuri festivals going on over the last couple of days. This is a significant time for Japanese, in particular Constitution Day, where I saw all the buses had flags on the front of them. This time where Japanese are a little bit patriotic. This is the line for buses to get to places like Kiyomizudera and Kinkakuji. The tourism is really heavy. There's Japanese and international tourists in Kyoto. It's not a good time to be there. A lot of people say that it was just really crowded. This is that looks like Ninenzaka, or places that's Ninenzaka. It's places down in Kyoto, just completely packed. I think the weekend is having a big deal, making this even more crowded. Everybody wants to take advantage of it, in particular from the United States. But there are places like, is this Toji? I can't remember this. This is the one that you can see from the Shinkansen. This pagoda on the other side of the station. If you go early morning, is what their news report was saying. Like, wait, the sun comes up at 5 a.m., everybody. It's the land of the rising sun. Take advantage of that, and you can get out there and enjoy tourist attractions like before 9 p.m. You take advantage of those 4 hours on places that are open 24 hours, and you'll have a lot of open space and a lot less stress. And then take an afternoon nap. Utilize your jet lag. This is Enoshima in Kamakura. These two locations are particularly busy for domestic tourists, but foreign tourists are going here to take a picture of this train that was in some, there it is, some anime or manga series with the sea going by. I don't understand it. I went and tried to film that Lawson's with Mount Fuji in the background. I can't understand exactly what the heck's going on here, but the tourists, in particular international tourists, are all lining up here to get a picture. The lines are quite long to get the pictures of these, so expect to not get the picture that you want because there's just so many people. And this is really funny here. I want to continue with this newscast here a little bit. I'll put it to the side here. I'll give you some commentary, but they're talking about the trains, the Enoden, which is the electric train that goes through Enoshima and Kamakura. A lot of people are just walking. There's a group from Italy. A lot of people want to ride this because it is in that picture for the Jump anime or manga. I'm not even sure. I don't watch a lot of anime, but it's just too crowded. So they caught up with these two Italians that were walking the whole thing. It's not that far. I think it's like a 45-minute walk, but the news was Japanese news was so interested in, they're Italian. Tourism has always been really bad in Italy, like Rome and Venice. Right now, Venice, these are the Italian guys. Venice is charging an entry to go into the country. So the over-tourism in Venice is even worse than it is in some spots here in Japan. Of course, it's Venice, But it was funny to hear their interview, and I think for Japanese TV, this was very enlightening for a lot of people. And you can see they walked the entire way. They said that they just like to walk, which makes a lot of sense. But that's the best way to enjoy places like this. At peak times, if the stations are crowded and you're not going that far, just walk it. In particular, if it's a nice sunny day, which was most of the weather this past week. I see Brandy is here. Brandy, you had some pretty nice weather when you were here as well, and it's been kind of shocking not to have you around the last few days. So that's nice to see you here. But it was funny to hear their feedback, the Italian point of view on the Golden Week holidays. But it's not a reason to stay away from Japan, but you've been warned that it is extremely busy here. But what we did notice this Golden Week was because of the over-tourism, and this isn't just, see the trash there? That's what I want to get into next. The over-tourism thing has just created a lot of Like Japan doesn't have trash cans everywhere, and I've noticed this too. I went to Lawson's in Kawaguchiko a few days ago, and if you haven't seen that live stream, it's very interesting. A note on that live stream: Mount Fuji was blocked, and you couldn't get a view over the Lawsons, but there were still a ton of tourists that went there to get a picture, just because it's that famous. We don't even know why. I guess it just was introduced on, well, we do know why. It was introduced on Instagram. Once Mount Fuji came out about an hour later, after that live stream, it turned into a pack of rabid dogs. Everybody had to get that shot. People didn't even think about traffic. They were just walking across the street like it was, I don't know, like India, because India doesn't have traffic lights to stop. People would just like weave, and it's very dangerous. People get hit all the time. It was really, really a nasty thing for me to say, and I was almost in tears. I felt really bad. I was in tears. Inside, I was broken man. I was a broken man because I felt bad for the Lawson staff at a convenience store. Shouldn't have to go outside to tell people to stop climbing on top of their, let me show you this video here. This is going to be the main channel episode, but look at them on top of the sign. They're holding onto the sign. Some people were getting on that Lawson sign in the left of your screen. This is when Mount Fuji came out. Now all of a sudden it got a lot busier. People were just running across the street. Look at the cars going slower, but even then, people would dart out. And it's just a very scary sight. Look at the cars, the Japanese locals trying to get in and out of the Lawsons here. They're losing business because these tourists aren't really buying a lot of stuff. They just want to get their picture, but they're losing money because locals don't want to go into the parking lot. They avoid this Lawsons now. It's not what you think it is. That's a dental office across the street. I talked with the owner of it. Super nice guy. He's got such a heart of gold. He loves the tourists coming in here. He talks to them, but he's worried about their safety and his clients, his patients. It has impacted his business. They don't want to go there so much because they're afraid of hitting the tourists, so they just try to avoid it overall. Another reason why the city is erecting a wall on the other side is to block people from crossing nonchalantly on a busy street when there's a crosswalk just 10 seconds away. So that's something I think that we all really have to be mindful of. Yeah, look at that. It's just too much. For me, it was a very sad thing to see that. I asked the Lawson's people that were out here, is it like this every day? And she goes, yeah. I asked the dentist, he said, is it every day? He goes, since around November of 2022, when tourism restarted, it was like this. So they were very worried the city Golden Week was going to be really tough, and it was. The construction workers building that wall go and have lunch from 12 to 1. When they're not there, the security guards are also having lunch. There's nobody to monitor the traffic, and it was at that time that I started to see like insanity. I didn't get it in that live stream how bad it was until Fujisan came out and there was nobody to monitor this. Somebody's gonna get hit and somebody's gonna get killed. That's how bad it is. And the tourists think that it's normal to just cross the street and Japanese drivers are gonna stop. Not everybody is a local, not everybody knows that this is a place where you can't go 40 kilometers per hour, right? The speed limit is like, I think it's like 40 kilometers per hour there. If you get hit with a car going 40, you're probably gonna be in a little bit of pain here. So this is something I think that I think that this township the city has to do something about it. And Golden Week, we saw some of that. For Leo and I, and by the way, I was in the background of the newscast here. You can see my camera on a tripod filming the chaos in the background. Mount Fuji, if you see right above the red circle, Mount Fuji just came out. Do you see that? The top of Mount Fuji, that's when it started to get really insane. So I'm in the background of some of the news footages, which I thought was really fun. For me, I took Leo out. Let's go on the right here. We went to Toys R Us and we went to some of the places, just into shopping malls. Took him to Odaiba. These are the kabuto, or the helmets for Boys Day. I was surprised. We haven't gotten Leo one of these yet, but they were like 80,000 yen. That's like $600 for one of these helmets. It's a cultural thing. It's not something you want to be cheap about. We haven't bought one for him yet. I think we'll wait till he's 4 or 5 years old, because then I think it'll be a wow thing and he'll really appreciate it when he's a little bit older. But it's kind of cool to take Leo out and just start to look at the helmets. And we also saw on the I went to Toyosu, which is I'm often over there, and we saw that the fire boats were out there training. You see those red fire spigots, the water spigots, hoses, I guess, and they were doing drills, and they were spraying the water really high into the sky. For me and Leo, this is the perfect Golden Week. Just stay home, stay local, go to places where there are few people, survive, just, you know, relax. And then as soon as everybody finishes and they got to go back to work domestically, that's when we strike. He's having a great time. So we had a pretty good, surprisingly, we had a really good a Golden Week. Aloha from Michael Sassano. There's our Hawaii girl, Brandania, indeed. Yeah, very good time. Yeah, so that's all that I got for you. It was a very interesting Golden Week in the sense that I got a chance to relax a little bit. If you're a Patreon supporter, just a programming note, I will be doing every Monday morning, which is Sunday night in the US, Q&A and trip planning advice. I've lived here for 26 years. I've lived in 17 different cities. I've moved like 20 times. I've returned. I lived in Hiroshima for 2 years. I lived in different regions of Japan. I've been to every prefecture more than like 3 times, I think. So if you have questions about Japan or helping with your itinerary, I'm the person to ask. If you're a Patreon supporter, I'll be doing every Monday morning live streams, podcasting. I couldn't do it this week because Leo was off from school. I wanted to do it yesterday. It just couldn't be. It was really hard. Or it was the day before yet. Today we couldn't because Leo was off today. So it'll start next week when we get back from our mini vacation, our mini Golden Week, and then Nightbot will tell you how to do it on Patreon, and I'll try to upload some of the Q&As because I think it's really great to hear how other people are planning their vacations to Japan. I think it's a really useful thing. I've been using the Patreon site more and more, so I do appreciate the support there. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you. Just a quick look at Tokyo Station. Konnichiwa. Hello. What? Yeah, I am.
Oh,
yeah.
Can I get a picture with you?
Oh, sure,
Are you
sure.
live streaming right
I was just ending it, but yeah, I got a card for you too.
now? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where are you guys from?
From Canada.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. There you go.
Can you take a picture for me? Awesome.
All right.
Great, thank you.
You're
Have a good day.
welcome. Yeah, you too. Have a nice trip, guys. Yeah, and there you go. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and let me know. I'll see you in another live stream again tomorrow. Golden Week is done. It's time for summer. Mata ne.